Disease which many hoped had been consigned to the history books, but tuberculosis is back. Deaths from TB have increased for the first time in more than a decade. It's been linked to disruptions in healthcare access due to the COVID pandemic. Dr. Tereza Kasaeva is the director of the World Health Organization's global TB program.
For the first time in over a decade, WHO is reporting an increase in tuberculosis death. Tuberculosis is the world's second top infectious killer after COVID-19, claiming close to 4,100 lives a day. Approximately 1.5 million people died from TB in 2020, including more than 215,000 among HIV-positive people, almost double the number who died of HIV/AIDS, and in the same time is the leading killer of people with HIV and the major contributor of antimicrobial resistance-related death. Tuberculosis mostly affects adults in their most productive years. However, all age groups are at risk. Over 90% of the cases and deaths are in developing countries and so-called high TB burden countries. It's well known that tuberculosis is a disease of poverty.
What prevents its successful eradication?
Unfortunately, TB response remains critically underfunded, with committed funding for TB prevention, care, and research falling far short. Global spending on TB diagnosis, treatment, and prevention services fell from 5.8 billion to 5.3 billion, which is less than a half of minimum of the global target of 13 billion annually by 2022, which is needed.
You paint a very gloomy picture. Which new research shows the most promise to reverse this?
There are about 14 TB vaccine candidates in clinical trials and some important development in this field. And we hope that if we will have vaccine on the market as soon as possible, of course, it can dramatically change all the response to tuberculosis. For diagnostics, likewise, we are reviewing new methods for both infection and disease, as well as for computer-aided detection for imaging. The most promising research work published this year is probably related to new, shorter regimens to treat drug-susceptible TB. The results of Study 31 and SHINE trial describe the efficacy of 2 4-month regimens to treat TB in adults and children, respectively. And you know, one of the main problems is the duration of TB treatment. Is still long and minimum 6 months. So now we have better, shorter, more effective treatment options, and they should be uptaken as soon as possible.